And I didn't know, and I was your eye.
Good morning. Can you stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Darcy, come on up for inspiration.
Thank you, Madam. You are Madam Officer? Madam Officer. I'm the Sergeant at Arms. I'm the Sergeant at Arms. Okay, sorry. Thank you, Madam VP of Public Relations. Every challenge in life can make you bitter or better, break you or build you. The choice is yours. You can be a victim or a victor. Madam VP.
Are there any announcements this morning? I have a card for David Jones that we're gonna send around. Marty, do you have an announcement?
We have a potential new number.
We have a potential new number. Sylvia, you can come up as Madam Toastmaster.
Good morning. It's a chilly morning, but it's a good morning. In 6 minutes, what I could accomplish. One day I was home, I just got home from work, running around, and I threw a frozen meal I had in the freezer in the microwave. I set defrost. And then I looked around, I said, oh, I better start these dishes that are in the sink. I cleaned off the countertops, wiped down my kitchen table, lift a little rug above around the sink, and got all the crumbs, started sweeping the floor. And I started to laugh. I said, oh my gosh, this would be a great topic for table topics. What I could accomplish in 6 minutes while that microwave was running, defrosting the soup we were having for dinner. That's what we do in Toastmasters, right? 95+% of our time, our speeches are between 5 to 7 minutes. 6 minutes is right in the middle. You want that yellow light. So how do you get a productive 6 minutes? As I stated, I started cleaning, organizing, and for that day, it was to find my kitchen table. That happens to be the grounds of throwing the mail every day, books, catalogs. My husband just empties his bag out, lunch bag, everything on there, and it stays there until he moves it, because I'm afraid to throw something out that he's going to look for, like someone's phone number, an email address, whatever he has in that bag. You could plan and manage. You could start a grocery list, or you could check your bank accounts, see what your balance is in your checking account, savings account, schedule some appointments, look at your calendar. You could do a quick task, maybe scroll on your phone, tablet, through your emails, delete old emails and photos from your phone. For mental and physical well-being, move around, stretch, touch your toes, move around, go up and down the stairs, take a short walk in the backyard. Practice mindful meditation, do deep breathing, or you could write something in a journal, what you're grateful for that day. To relax and recharge, listen to a song, maybe 2 songs, you might have time. Read a few pages of a book, go outside, enjoy the fresh air and the sunlight, and notice the colors of the trees, how they're changing this time of year. It's just gorgeous. You also could do some learning and creativity. It's early in the morning. You could read a short article on self-help. Engage your mind, maybe learn a word of a new language you always wanted to learn, or refresh yourself with something you have learned long ago, Spanish in school or Latin. Try something out of your comfort zone. This meeting was out of my comfort zone. I'm a planner. So as nothing was in the schedule, and then I started pointing fingers, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Then I started hearing from people, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I won't be at the meeting. Or yes, I can do that. So it was a little uncomfortable. So Darcy started off with a great inspiration. Is Maggie. I see Maggie is on Zoom this morning. And she has the word of the day, and she also has a quote. She's doing double duty. Maggie Craig.
Oh, muted. Tell her she's muted.
Unmute yourself, Mag.
Is that better?
Yes, we could hear you now.
Oh, perfect. Okay, sorry about that. So the word of the day is procrastinate. It's a verb. Definition is to delay or put off doing something that should be done. For an example, I planned to write my speech days ago, but decided to procrastinate until the last minute. Use this word today in today's meeting and don't procrastinate before doing so. So shall I move on to my quote?
Please.
Good morning. I'll just walk up to this lectern again. Good morning. Good morning, Madam Toastmaster, and good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Our theme today, what can you accomplish in 6 minutes, reminds us that time is both precious and fleeting. And no one understood that better than Benjamin Franklin, a man known for packing a lot into his days and his wisdom into a few words. He once said, "You may delay, but time will not." And also, lost time is never found again. Both quotes remind us that every minute, even 6, matters. Whether we spend it speaking, listening, learning, or laughing, those minutes are ours to make meaningful. So let's make the most of this meeting. No procrastination and no time lost. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Maggie. I was given our little board sign-in sheet, so I will list the people who are here in person. We have Darcy, Mark, Len, Mike Licata, Marty, Mary, Bridget, our new member, Kate, Steve, Jill, and Beth. On Zoom is Margot, Marshall, Maggie, and Phil. And we also have 2 guests this morning. Samantha returned. Thank you for coming back. And Bob. Bob, you said you were in Toastmasters many, many moons ago. Charter member of 5460. Great. Thank you. Dave. You're not on here. And he's David's guest, and you didn't even write your name, David.
Want a quick little story?
At the end, maybe, or on the mic.
Come on up to the mic and you could tell your story. We have time. We have time.
This one is real quick and easy for a change. This is amazing topic. I've never done anything in 6 minutes, trust me. A long time ago, Phil Russell invited me to a meeting of AM Lockport Toastmasters, so I showed up as a guest. The following week, I walked in and I said, "Is it okay if a guest brings a guest?" And they said, "Oh, yeah." And it was Bobby. No, we call him Mr. Weibel. But we worked together at Licata Brothers Wholesale. And I owe my coffee, a good share of my coffee knowledge to Bob. Thank you. Bob Weibel.
Also, Tracy snuck in as we were talking. Just a reminder, everybody had their ballot sheets. Please cast your votes today. And I don't see Joe here this morning. I had him as Jester. We'll come back to that. Maybe someone could find a joke or something regarding doing something in 6 minutes. Our master is Mary. Come on up, Mary.
I'll be counting the ahs and ums during this meeting, and I'll report back at the end of the meeting. I might procrastinate.
Also, who's doing double duty is Darcy. Come on up, Darcy, as Quizmaster.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. So as Quizmaster, this is my first time doing this, so that's lots of fun because I love the Quizmaster part of the meeting. So I have to listen very carefully and then come up with some questions to ask you at the end of the meeting about what was said during the meeting. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
And before we go any further, I'm going to ask Mike Licata, my general evaluator, who graciously volunteered right away.
Thank you, Sylvia. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and our guests this morning. My job as general evaluator to evaluate the Toastmaster, the evaluators, and the overall tone of the meeting. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Timer. This morning, Marshall song. Marshall, give us what you will be timing us on and the time limits.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. I am the timer today. I promise every part of our meeting won't procrastinate. For our table topic part, we will have 3 speakers. You have 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will show you my green background. 1 minute, 30 seconds. Show you yellow background. 2 minutes. Show you red background. That means you have 30 seconds to finish your speech. We have 2 speakers. You have 5 to 7 minutes. 5 minutes green, 6 minutes yellow, red minutes. 7 minutes red. And we have 2 individual evaluators. You have 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will show you green. 2 minutes and a half, show you yellow. Red at 3 minutes. You have to finish your speech in 30 seconds. Thank you. Go back to table topic.
Thank you, Marshall. Before we start table topics, we do have 2 speakers this morning. I don't know if anyone wanted to volunteer for 3, but that's fine because I asked Beth to have more participants in table topics. And Beth Banks is our table topic master. Beth? Morning. Morning.
I think I'm a little rusty. Just getting up again. Obviously, I didn't make it last week. Thanks, Mike, for filling in when I was on vacation, and I probably should have said I won't be able to make it because I'm on vacation. But I have a voice again, so I can't procrastinate any longer. So I did look at this a little bit differently because I thought, well, could be what you do in 6 minutes, but I actually went online and put in 6 minutes. Do you guys know there's a podcast called 6 Minutes? I watched the first one and it really didn't have anything. It was just a picture of something. So I don't know if it was my computer or what. So some of my questions may be regards to what you can do in 6 minutes, and some maybe in regards to this podcast. Okay, so we're going to go on. Jill, would you be my first speaker here this morning for table topics? This podcast is about an 11 or 12-year-old girl who was found floating in the water alive off of the Alaska coast. My question for you is, what would you do if you were the one who saw her floating?
What would I do if I saw her floating? Well, let's see. I probably would not procrastinate. I probably would try to rescue her right away because that water had to be pretty darn cold. Hypothermia would set in very quickly. And I would probably try calling the Coast Guard because that's their job. Of course, it depends on what kind of vessel I was in. There was one time I was in a sailboat out on Lake Ontario, but it was just a day sailor. At that time, it did not have GPS. We did not have GPS on our phones. And there was somebody in distress off of Tuscarora State Park. We called Coast Guard. We did have that capability. We had the radio. And they wanted the GPS coordinates for it. I mean, it was quite simple. It was right off the pier, right off of Tuscarora State Park. It wasn't that hard to find. Believe it or not, they sent the helicopter from Detroit to locate this person. Yeah, I guess they were bored. So I guess I have helped someone in distress out in the lake once. And that was my story. So thank you, Madam Table Topics Master.
I'll just jump because my next person that I would like to call on is Marty, and I'm sure you need it up. Hi, so Marty, would you come up? And your question, Marty, is if you were told you only had 6 minutes to do something, what would you do?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Most welcome guests. If I were told I only had 6 minutes, what would I do? Well, I can tell you what I did do in 6 minutes and 3 seconds once. I bet no one can guess. I ran a mile. Actually, I ran a 5K in 1803. I'm 61 years old today, and this was probably 45 years ago, though. But it was great. And I can remember where it was. It was in Wilson. I think it was a salmon run. And I was with a buddy from high school who was not running for whatever reason. I think he was with his girlfriend and whatever reason. Excuse me. So I didn't procrastinate, but what I did do, I knew who the leader was. The leader was someone that was involved in the local canoe race here that we used to have on the canal. And I was chasing him. His name is Dave DiTilio. He owns A&A Beauty Supply in Lockport. And he was very good. And I wasn't very good, but I was pushing myself. I think I was showing off for my buddy's girlfriend. But I was dying at the end. I needed oxygen. And I felt great though. I was really pushing myself. So you can do a lot in 6 minutes. You know, don't procrastinate, push yourself within your limits and sometimes out of your limits. And you'd be amazed what you can do. Thank you, Madam Topics Master.
Okay, moving along. Let's see. Mike Licata, I don't believe you have a role. You're what? Oh, you're general. Okay. Bridget, would you like to come up and answer one of my questions? I'll keep it simple. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Marty. What would you do if you knew you had only 6 minutes to do something?
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, and Chinese word of the day.
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm glad I can be a member, I think. What would I do in 6 minutes? I would stand up here and talk, but actually, if I only had 6 minutes, I would call my daughter, I would call my son, I would call my mother, I would call my sister, I would call my niece, and I would call the people that I love in my life. That's what I would do in 6 minutes. And I think I just listed 5 people, so each one would have 1 minute, and then my mother would get 2 minutes. So that's what I would do in 6 minutes. I would probably choose to call the people I love because not all of them live near me. My 2 children are in Michigan. So I would want to make sure that they know I love them and that I only had 6 minutes. I do find this concept interesting though, because we tend to live for tomorrow and we tend to live towards the future. And I think it's truly important to really focus on today, where we are today. We woke up this morning. We have today only. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. And I'm not going to procrastinate anymore. And I don't know how to fit that in though. I mean, I was told to not procrastinate and I slipped the word in, but it didn't really make sense, but that's okay. So thank you so much. So I have a yellow, which means I think I have 1 minute left. So anyways, 30 seconds. So part of my job as a therapist is I try to get people to live in the moment, try to live for today, and try to focus on what they have and who they love in their life. So that is what I would do in 6 minutes. And I didn't even get to a red. So I think I'm okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, my next candidate, because I'm supposed to go more than 3, correct? Okay. My next candidate is going to be Steve. He thought he was going to get away by hiding behind Bob, but it didn't work, Steve. My question for you, in this first podcast that I saw, a family found this girl floating and they brought her into the boat with them, and she had no idea who she was or where she was. Have you ever heard of a story like that you could tell us about?
No, I haven't. So I'm going to do Toastmasters prerogative and just flip the script here. Now, you were talking about what will you do if you were given 6 minutes to do something. I'm reminded of what my father taught me many years ago. The fastest way to, and I'll clean this up, fastest way to make someone mad, if they tell you you have 6 minutes to do something and they're yelling at you to speed up, you take 12, you slow down. Where do you think I get it from? But I was thinking about that. What can you do in 6 minutes? I went outside this morning to start the car up, and it was dark. And in less than 4 minutes, I identified a number of objects in the sky. The first thing right in front of me is Orion. If that doesn't tell you winter's coming, it's Orion. Over here is Venus. Right in front of me is big bright Jupiter. And then I realized I was staring at Procyon and Sirius, two of the brightest stars that's in the sky right now. And this is all in a matter of a couple of minutes. I'm looking at all this. Oh, this is wonderful. So you can do a lot in a couple of minutes. But procrastination is a whole nother matter. I've taken that to an art form. Ask Jill. But it's all a question of what's important to you. If it's not important, why do it today if you can put it off tomorrow? And why do it tomorrow if you can put it off indefinitely? Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Bob, you're an old expert. You know how to do this stuff. So I'm going to be making it easy for you because my question is, are you a procrastinator or are you a person who likes to get things done on time?
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master and fellow Toastmasters. I am a person that likes to get things done on time. Procrastination is not in my vocabulary at all. And the reason that is my whole life has been racing at lock speed. Just, you want something, go get it. Brings me to how I started in Toastmasters. I actually helped David's father start a company. And I knew nothing about speaking in public because I was a farm boy from Batavia. I see, so we got some fans back there. And what happened was, that's how I ended up at this first meeting, because I could go out and I could go get things, I could hurry, I could do anything except speak in front of a group. So I came here as a guest. I think I joined the next meeting. I think I had my arm twisted. But at the end of the day, it gave me the courage and the self-confidence to go out and do what I was doing in the world. I left here and moved to another company, which I ran and was one of the largest territory managers in furniture in the country. After that, I moved to LA and started a company there. I currently just retired from running 2 companies, and all of them, I needed one basic skill: to be able to go out and talk to anybody without any reservation. Toastmaster did that for me. I am a DTM. I was Administrative Lieutenant Governor of the state. And now I'm back as a guest of David Licata, who I've been friends with for 40 years. Thank you, Madam Toastmasters.
Is that good? Yeah. All right.
Great job. Great job. Procrastinate, what a word. I procrastinate when I'm at work, when I don't know how to do something and it's a time limit on some of these grants and reports, and I'm thinking, I don't know how to deal with New York State, and that's when I procrastinate. But other than that, I gotta have some sort of order. Marshall, how did everyone do in timing today?
Hi, we have 5 speakers. The first one, Jill, cost 1 minute 52 seconds. Second, Marty, 1 minute 27 seconds. Third, Bridget, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Fourth, Steve, 1 minute 31 seconds. Fifth, Bob, 1 minute 42 seconds. All of them qualified. Thank you.
Thank you, Marshall. They do. And Maggie, the word of the day, procrastinate. How did that do in table topics? There she is.
Hi, sorry. I'm on my phone because I could have the link thing and I never know how to work this on my phone. But I'm impressed. I think every single person used the word procrastinate. Wow. Let's go. Procrastinate. No procrastination there. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Okay, so please cast your vote for one of the 5 people Jill, Marty, Bridget, Steve, and Bob. Mike Florio is our first evaluator today, and he will be evaluating Kate. And Mike, would you please tell us a little bit about Kate's speech and introduce her to start her speaking?
Good morning, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our guests this morning. Kate will be doing a Take Two speech from the Dynamic Leadership Program, Level 4, Public Relations, 5 to 7 minutes, Mr. Timer. And the name of her speech, the title of her speech is 5 Generations. Kate, 5 Generations.
Thank you, Mike and Sylvia and everyone else. Procrastination. Some of you who know me might call me a master. No, you don't master procrastination. It masters you, doesn't it? It really takes over. Last week, I gave this speech, 5 generations. 5 generations. What does that mean? I was at this conference in Albany, and it was brought up as a topic on Tuesday. And I really have dug into this topic 5 generations since then in my work and here at Toastmasters. This project is about public relations, and I'm not the vice president of public relations, Mary is, but we're all in this together from public relations from the time that Dave and Bob started this club with many others. And then now it's some decades on, and we hope to see it continue on. There are 5 generations working together in the workplace now. It's unprecedented that generations from their teenagers up to grandparents and great-grandparents are working. Maybe not all together, maybe not all 5 generations in one space or one room all the time, but it's unprecedented in how we communicate. We, as you all know, have been part of a communication revolution in the last couple of decades. Just look at how this meeting looks compared to maybe you were at the Best Western Hotel, a few different places, Friendly's restaurant. I was at Friendly's too when I joined this club 18 years ago. We couldn't have seen that this was coming as fast as it happened. We communicate differently. Some of us are texting back and forth. Some of us would never pick up the phone to make a phone call. Some of us in reverse. I hate texting. I'll always make a phone call. Last week, I mentioned one of our club members that in 2020 joined us on Zoom, and he was part of the silent generation, the oldest generation of the 5 generations before the baby boomers. We never would have seen Charlie again if he had not Zoomed in with us because he passed of cancer over that time period. And I forgot to mention in that 5 to 7 minute speech last week how proud I was of him, that he embraced it enough that he could get on Zoom with Deb's help, his wife, and could visit us. And that's amazing. And he wasn't following the typical, this is what this generation does. Baby boomers aren't good at technology. Kids are only on technology. They have no work ethic. What I really wanted to talk about and couldn't in 5 minutes was to dive in on bucking these stereotypes. They exist for reasons. Stereotypes do exist for reasons. But we have to be mindful of the prejudices. And in this club, I love that we can work together, and it's constant struggle. A little bit of, the tech isn't working. The tech is working. This is great. This wasn't great. I procrastinate too much, and I saved the agenda this week, unlike last week. Poor Marty gave my evaluation last week, and I had, on my phone, thought I had saved my details, and I didn't. Well, I did this week. I'm so proud of myself. Well, guess what? For the second time in like 7 years, I have never seen our Toastmasters International website go down. Remember it happened about a month ago? And folks couldn't get on Zoom, and it was a little bit of a scramble, texting the Zoom link. Well, I saved the Zoom link, then the direct link, without our website on my laptop. Well, that's handy at home. Doesn't do me any good here. So we have to be prepared and not procrastinate and be mindful. Not writing the speeches last minute, not doing the schedule too late, despite the fact that I have a lot of help with Mary and Len and others. Last weekend was our contest for the area. Super exciting. And several of you in the room were here. Maggie moved on to the next level. That was great. She will represent us at Lockport very well on November 1st at the next level and maybe on to the district contest as well. Well, I committed to doing that last Saturday, so I was doing that. Should I have been maybe doing our schedule? Yes. We have to decide what to juggle and what not to procrastinate. I can't wait to see more about how our club will handle relations within and relations in our outreach. We're a growing club, we're a vibrant club, and how we face the public and how we work internally will be a constant changes. I have my notes from last week that I saved, but I procrastinated reorganizing my bag this morning and forgot my reading glasses. Communication is
no.
challenging when you cannot see your notes. Well, maybe you shouldn't have your notes. I debated borrowing from someone else. Don't put your notes on a phone. Don't put all of your speech on a phone. Some in the younger generation do that and do drive us crazy. Last week, I was at Houghton University in Allegheny County for a blood drive, and I was so proud to see some of the younger student donors, in contrast to Charlie, saying, I don't want to download the app, and they're thinking more, I'll read the materials. Can I just have the book? A couple of the kids were reading actual books. Guys, they were reading books. It's very exciting. So we have to remember that we might have this mindset that certain generations are like this, and then we fall into the trap of thinking we need to fulfill that pigeonholing. Well, I'm a little older, so this, or well, I'm a little younger, so this. We have to really watch it. I was bruised a little bit when a few weeks ago I heard a younger person, call someone maybe in their 30s a boomer. And at first it tinged a little sting, like, oh, you call them a boomer. Goodness gracious, they're younger than I am. And then I thought, why do we have this mindset? Like, of course, they're young kids. Anybody older than them is a boomer. I'm probably 90 in their minds, right? When I go to see and visit some of the teenagers. It's just the mindset. And we have to break those mindsets, break those stereotypes, be more prepared in this club in a lot of ways. And thank you for being this training ground for that. I'm going to stop my time now, Marshall, if you could stop my speech time. And I want to plant a seed for all of our members and new guests. We do have the final quarter's schedule situated, I hope. I am the Vice President of Education, for anybody who doesn't know, and we're working on that for the rest of the quarter. So if you have not reached out to me or Len or Mary about the dates that you cannot attend, if you have any special requests, please let me know so we can tie up those loose ends and then get the schedule on the website. But guess what you should do? Not just trust the website. Should you print a copy just in case? Yes, please print the schedule once it comes out and print the whole spreadsheet. That is very handy so you can look ahead and see your roles for the quarter and plan ahead. Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster and Toastmasters.
Thank you, Kate. You left early last week, and I did tell you in the car Saturday what I said regarding the 5 generations, working with 5 generations. Very difficult. Of course, I use other choice words that probably took some people back. But when you have an 86-year-old lady playing with 2-year-olds, and I cringe, hope she never falls in front of a child, down to a teenager, it is fun to watch them all together because the teenager looked at the 86-year-old lady and said, I can't believe you're still doing this, playing with 2- and 3-year-olds. And that's her mission in life right now. She loves the 2- and 3-year-olds. Our next evaluator, Tracy, is going to be evaluating Phil Russell. Tracy, could you introduce Phil?
I will. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Today, Phil will be speaking from the Presentation Mastery book. Phil is a fellow member of the Procrastinators United. So he is going to do an excellent job because I know within his repertoire, he has a ton of stories. And he came up with this speech within the last day or so. His purpose of his speech is to tell a story within a speech. Mr. Timer, it is 5 to 7 minutes, and I will give the title of his speech, My Birthday Vacation. Phil Russell, My Birthday Vacation.
Six minutes. That's a lifetime, an eternity. I'll tell you a little later in this speech what happened in 1 minute and 31 seconds. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, our guests, pleasure to be here this morning. Yes, my wife, Chris, gave me a nice vacation, 12 days. Wonderful. I'll tell you a little about it. I only have 5 to 7 minutes. But let me tell you, that's a long time. Because it's going to take me 48 days to catch up by going on a 12-day vacation. How many of y'all agree with that? It takes you 2 to 3 times, maybe 4 times as long to catch up after you go out and leave everything at home. Well, this vacation was wonderful. We went to South Bend, Indiana for a football game. Wow. Notre Dame, Purdue, great rivalry. Oh, Notre Dame, what a great place. Look it. I got some stuff. Oh, can you see it? There you go. Oh, didn't have to wear it. It wasn't that cold. It was great. All right. Now, Notre Dame, Purdue. Oh. The vacation, 12 days, was beautiful every day except for the football game. Rain and lightning. I wore my new hat. It was a bucket hat because I wanted to keep my ears nice and unsunburned. I had my regular Notre Dame hat, but I chose not to wear it. Reason being, my ears get sunburned. What a game. It rained, but I only got hit by a couple of drops, but they cleared the whole stadium. 80,000 people kicked out because of a lightning strike within 8 miles. College football, you have to delay the game 1/2 hour after the last lightning strike. We went down to the concourse. They sent everybody out. Well, the college students, you know what they did? They went back to the party. I don't blame them, but they missed something great. It was stopped with 1 minute and 31 seconds before halftime. So that hour and a half we spent in the tunnel was halftime as well. We got called back in. They were warming up. All the teams warm up. You don't want to get these young people hurt, so they have to do warm up. So that's what caused it to be a whole hour and a half. They were warming up. 1 minute and 31 seconds. Four scores in that 1 minute and 31 seconds. Then came a break for about 30 seconds, start of the second half. 2 more touchdowns. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I've been watching football since the great game between the New York Giants and the Baltimore Colts. Oh, God. It was crazy. Coached it, participated. It was just a crazy 1 minute and 31 seconds. But that vacation, Friday is Football Friday at Notre Dame. Insane. Hundreds of thousands of people doing the campus. Most people don't even go to the game. They party outside. They have a great time. Took a tour of the campus. Unbelievable. Great, great campus. Then on the next day after the game was terrific. We toured the campus again on that day. Then we went up to Michigan. My buddy, I coached with in Arizona. He came to the game with his neighbor who goes to church at Notre Dame on Sunday every other week. He'd never been to a game. His wife was sick and he just wanted to go. So we had 2 extra tickets. So my buddy, Alex, and his buddy got there. We didn't sit together, opposite sides, and they took off for home when the break happened. Reason being, they didn't want to get back because his buddy's wife was not feeling well, and she needed to get home. She needed him home, so they got there at the time the game ended, which was about 9 o'clock. All right, my buddy Alex up to Michigan, 2 great states, Indiana, Michigan. Love Michigan. Hold on a second. He gave me a gift. He gave me several gifts. He works at Cabela's. So I got a Cabela's hat. He gave me some other junk. I mean, it was stuff, I should say. We have been friends for years, ever since coaching in Arizona. He is like one of those greeter guys at Cabela's, Bass Pro. It's going to be called Bass Pro. And he loves this job. He loves it because all they do in Michigan, hunt and fish. Well, they throw a little drinking in there too, but he loves to hunt and fish, and that's where he is, right at Cabela's, the biggest hunting fishing place you've ever seen. What a magnificent thing. Michigan. A couple of days there. Then we went to Frankenmuth. Christmas. Put it on your bucket list if you like Christmas. Frankenmuth, biggest Christmas store you've ever seen. Walk in, 1 hour walk down one aisle, all the way back on the other aisle, 1 hour, and you will see the most amazing Christmas stuff in your life. Plus, Frankenmuth is geared after an old German Holland town, that area. And we went to the one restaurant where they dress up in garb that is, both period and country similar. Great place. I'll tell you the rest of the story about driving up Lake Huron to Mackinac some other time. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Phil. Marshall, how did our 2 speakers, contestants, do in time?
Okay. The first speaker, Cat, made 6 minutes 30 seconds. Phil Russell spent 7 minutes 59 seconds overtime. Thank you.
So we don't have to vote. Kate is our lead speaker. I do have to apologize to Lynn because I forgot grammarian drill today because grammar is not my strong point. It's hindsight. Sorry, Lynn. Come on up and tell us your role.
No problem, Madam Toastmaster. I have not procrastinated. I've been diligently listening for outstanding or negligent uses of our language today, as my role of grammarian dictates. So I'll continue to do that and report at the end of the meeting. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to start with our evaluator number one, Mike Floria. Could you please tell us about Kate's speech and any suggestions for her?
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our guests, and especially Kate for sure. I always enjoy listening to Kate in the morning because she has so much energy. She's always on top of her game. And I have to make sure that I pay attention very closely because Kate moves around really fast. And I was very interested in this speech. I heard the last one about the generations, the various generations. And as a millennial, I was very curious as to what this speech entailed. Okay, maybe I'm not a millennial. All right, I'm more of definitely a boomer for sure. I thought maybe I could kind of sneak into the Gen X, but I'm on the borderline. I'm a boomer for sure. But I really was interested in this speech because I think she brought up something that was very important, and that is the stereotypes that people have. And I think all the different generations are really kind of in that place as a starter, kind of, just to get an idea of where people fit. And I agree with Kate. And I thought it was really great that she brought that up, um, that people, you can't put them in these boxes. They don't fit in those boxes. I talk to people every day from various different generations, and you're right. Some are tougher than other to deal with, but there's some in my own generation that are tough to deal with. So I get that. I thought that Kate did a very good job of getting that across to people, especially when she mentioned, Charlie, right? And Charlie was really someone who I admired. He was tough. Okay, he was very tough, especially in his evaluations. I remember that he would spare no words. He would tell you exactly how he felt, and sometimes you felt like you had a stripe kind of taken away from you, but he definitely got his point across to you. I think how you can improve on this speech, Kate, is that maybe you were a little bit all over the board. You talked about the contest, the schedule, your reading glasses, new members. I was hoping that maybe you might focus on digging in a little bit more on each of the different generations as to how they're different from others and how maybe they're the same. And then you talked about going to the meeting about public relations. I thought maybe you might be able to give a little example in there as to what they did, how they helped you to recognize these differences, and maybe how to work together with people inside of it. So, all in all, I thought the speech was very good, and I think in the future maybe work a little bit on the ending too. It was a little abrupt, but all in all, it was a very good speech, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mike.
I'm not sure if I couldn't see the time.
Tracy is our second evaluator, and she'll be evaluating Phil Russell. Tracy.
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. Today we heard a speech from Phil Russell, a master storyteller. He first caught our attention with that moment of silence, and then he kept us engaged throughout the speech with his gestures, his facial expressions, and a ton of props. You have to give him a lot of credit. This was a last minute speech, so he was able to put all this together. And he went through these sports stories just like a sports announcer, giving us a play by play moment of all of those small stories. If I was going to improve this, Phil, I would drop the Zoom background only because you do so many gestures and that kind of takes away from the speech when the picture in the background goes in and out. You missed a fantastic opportunity also when you said, I have to cram 12 days into a 5 to 7 minute speech. Phil, you should have said, I can do this in 6 minutes. But you were actually, and then you didn't practice enough and you went over time. But I know that you are such an excellent speaker that you could have done it. I have to thank you for stepping up to the plate for doing this. You kept us entertained and you are always entertaining and able to, you have a ton of stories in your repertoire. So you were able to pull that out of your back pocket at the last minute and say hi to your cat there. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Marshall, for the last time, how did our evaluators do on time?
Right. Our first evaluator, Mike, spent 3 minutes 36 seconds. Second, Tracy spent 1 minute 36 seconds. Thank you.
All right. Mike go over time? Yeah. Yes, he did. Had a lot to say about that generation.
I
those
couldn't
5
see the
generations.
light.
Oh, maybe my internet isn't so good.
That's okay.
5 generations. They are. We have a lot of opinions on the 5 generations. I'm definitely a boomer. Before I ask Mike Licata to return up and do his general evaluation job, I would like to recap on what you can accomplish in 6 minutes. You could relax, you could organize yourself, you could get outside and take a short walk. In the digital world, you could look at your emails, start deleting those junk emails and delete some old photos, or even make an email, send an email to someone. Some do journaling, contact family members, like Bridget said. When she said that, I said, I wrote that down somewhere. Or a friend, arrange a coffee date with that person. Walk away from our phones and our computers. Mike Licata.
Thank you again, Sylvia. Before I get started on my general evaluation report, we have more money in the 50-50 than anybody took tickets. So if anybody wants, I have 4 extra tickets because I'm not, I mean, somebody was overly generous. They want to claim them. It's fine. If you want to just put this as a donation to the club, I'll just take it and whoever wins, wins. But anyway, just if anybody wants to claim it, it is what it is. Thank you guys very much. Yeah, pretty much. Beth is nicer than I am because she always is. I'm just not, yeah, if you guys want to be generous, I'm not a most patient person. So with that, we have plenty of time this morning. I want to first of all, I want to thank Sylvia because I think she did a great job stepping up to volunteer as Toastmaster. I know that when it comes to new schedules, it's always never easy to figure out and make sure what fits for each individual person, and everyone every week isn't going to be happy because that's just how the world works. So thank you for stepping up, number one. And number two is keep sending out those emails to make sure that we felt pressured for taking a role without actually feeling pressured to taking a role. I want to thank our speakers this morning, Kate and Phil, for stepping up and giving their speeches. I know within a week, when the schedule comes out, you can plan better. But I think both of our speakers this morning stepped up in a good way. We had 2 very experienced evaluators that gave the basic sandwich approach. That for our guests and our new members is we like to start off with the positive, the meat of the speech. The meat of the evaluation is giving positive feedbacks and way to improve the speech. And we always try to finish and make sure that there's always something positive, because as Toastmasters, one of the true values of this club is, and when it comes to evaluation, you never leave we never leave after an evaluation feeling bad about the speech, because we do such a good job of that positive reinforcement when it comes to developing speeches. I also want to give Sylvia credit too. I think 6 minutes, you definitely made us think this morning. It's things that we don't think about, because procrastination is just the easier road. It's the road most traveled. So to stop and think about what we would each do with our 6 minutes and what we can accomplish in 6 minutes is something that we barely think about. So thank you for helping us learn and helping us think this morning. I will let's call on Mary, our master this morning, and she can give her master's report.
So there weren't no us, but Steve had one so. There were a lot of buts today. Mighty had one. Steve had one. Phil had one. Mike Boreal had two butts. Tracy had one butt, and Mike Wakata had one and Bridget had one
Thank you, Mary. And I will ask Len to come up and give his grammarian report this morning.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. I must confess I have a rather sparse report today. I did not hear any outstanding uses of English or any really terrible ones. We know when something sounds right and when it doesn't. When it leaves our lips, correct yourself, pause, correct yourself, and say it the correct way. And eventually that reinforcement will have you speaking better and using grammar as it should. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Len. And I will ask Maggie now to give a final word report. How did procrastinate do this morning, Maggie?
I have to tell you, this is hard on the telephone to make it unmute. I think that I must have married the perfect word with the perfect topic, because I don't want my little baby on here. The perfect word on the perfect topic, because I think everybody used it all day. I've never heard a word of the day used more than this word of the day. So thank you very much. Back to you, Mr. Licata.
Thank you, Maggie. And I will, yes, enjoy the weekend. This is a part of the meeting. First I'll invite Bob up as a guest. What did you think of the meeting? We usually start doing this now. Do we have one? Oh, Darcy ended up being quizmaster. I'm sorry, Bob. Do you want to come up and give your quizmaster report? I'm sorry. I missed that part. I was not planning.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Our mission in Toastmasters is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. And I made this nice little plaque to display here, because when I was at the educational seminars over the summer, at the Sergeant of Arms workshops, they said this should be said every single meeting. So if I forget to say it every single meeting, it'll be there for you to read. Maybe I should make a big poster and put it on the wall, then everybody can see it. All right, so the best part of the meeting, the Quizmasters. First question. I'm not going to procrastinate any longer. What is significant to Toastmasters about Bob Weigel, our guest? Charter member, excellent. And DTM, excellent. Number 2, where did the helicopter come from in Jill's table topics? Detroit. What was Marty's time in his famous run? I'm asking because I missed it. Marty, give us the answer. 1803. All right. Number 4, what would Bridget do with her last 6 minutes? Call loved ones. Number 5, from Steve's speech, what star formation tells us that winter is coming? Got it. Orion. Bob Weigel is a farm boy from Batavia. Somebody asked me that. Where's Batavia? I'm like, Batavia? Number 7, what should we do with the Toastmasters schedule when we receive it? Print it out. Number 8, Phil Russell, where was his vacation? Or a couple places. In the Midwest, Indiana, Michigan. Good. I'm going to have to check out that Christmas store. Sounds pretty cool. And last question, what from Mike Florio's speech, what should we be careful not to do? Stereotype. And that might be a good word of the day or even a theme of Toastmasters. Because as a farm girl, farmers get all kinds of stereotypes, which I hope to dispel. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Darcy. And next, I will invite Bob up as a guest. What did you think of the meeting? Talk about how maybe Toastmasters evolved since you last.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. I am so happy to come here and see a vibrant meeting that's not only changed the faces that are here, but the way we push it into the world. We're taking that new step with this being on YouTube, being worldwide. It's amazing. I remember the days when there was 4 or 5 roles you may have to play because there's only 6 of us sitting here. And we did not procrastinate. We did not stop. We just kept going forward. And here we are today. It's been a lot of years. If I came to a meeting every week, I don't know whether to stay up for it or get up early. Back it up 3 hours, you'll know why I said that. I'm just so happy to see it's still here. Whenever I get to New York, I'll try to stop in. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Bob. Did you want to say anything your second week, Samantha, or you don't have to?
Good morning. I don't think I've given a speech since high school, so bear with me. I really enjoyed the topic of 6 minutes because as a full-time working mother, I found I can accomplish a lot in 6 minutes if I don't procrastinate. The 5 generations is something I've definitely experienced in my career nursing field, so that's very interesting. I think that's all I have to say. I need to improve on my public speaking, so here I am.
Thank you, Samantha. Do we have a schedule for next week, or is that? Okay, so Beth is our Toastmaster for next week. Okay. Yes, and the theme next week will be fall vacation, so check the website, and I'm sure Beth will be sending out emails fairly soon. I will announce our winners, our singular winner this morning. Our best table topics was Bridget this morning, and I will grab the bucket for the 54.
I'll cover the lectern. We always have somebody here. Do you want me to draw? Bridget, come draw, because you were an actual winner. I was a default winner by time. You get a ribbon, Bridget, too. You're in the right place.
Oh, what do I do? Just
You're
push
drawing
one
a
of the-
split club winner. Oh, Mary, did you want to come up too?
Do I want 0, 4, 1 or the last 3?
041 Steve. Steve likes our newest member. You drew his ticket right off the bat. I will shake your hand and give you this lovely Best Table Topics ribbon. Well done.
What?
No, it's part of this. We always talk.
I think so.
I guess the meeting's adjourned.